Intelligent System Analytic Computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online. Data scanned. Downloading files.
Hey guys, this is Mike from SITREP Radio, a podcast focused around The Division. I'm here to welcome you to this tactical looter shooter set in a Tom Clancy world. Whether you're completely new to the game or coming back from a long break, over the course of this video series, I'm hoping to guide you through the ins and outs of The Division, with the overall aim of helping you get your character to level 30, provide advice for endgame content that lies beyond this, and share some tips, tricks, and hints that we at SITREP Radio have learned along the way. As this is the first video in the series, today we will just be covering some of the basics of the game and taking you through the progression from Brooklyn to Manhattan, which is where your journey as an agent begins. So you've started the game, landed in Brooklyn, and gone through some of the character facial customization options available to you. Afterwards, the game will take you through a short tutorial of some of the basic controls, including cover, aiming, and switching weapons. However, I highly recommend looking at the control scheme or key bindings in the agent menu before you go any further, just to help familiarize yourself with the controls of the game. The Division is a cover-based shooter, so try and use cover wherever possible to shield yourself from enemies when in combat. This works nice and simply by pressing the cover button key. You will also have the ability to perform cover-to-cover moves by facing an object and holding the cover button to perform the move. If you need to perform an evasive roll, double tapping the cover button and moving in any direction will perform this for you, helping you get quickly out of the way of enemy grenades. As an agent, you have access to meds, equipment, grenades, food, and special ammo. And yes, there's also emotes to help you communicate with other players in the game. You can perform all of these by using the D-pad on consoles or pressing the relevant equipment keys on PC. For grenades, simply tap the grenade button to use it, followed by your primary firing button to throw. If you hold down the grenade button, you will bring up the grenade wheel, which will allow you to choose which type of grenade you want to throw by using either the mouse or the right stick. Emotes and consumables such as food, drink, and special ammo reserves are selected in the same way, by holding down the button that selects them and using the right stick or mouse to select. Next up is the agent menu. Using the agent menu will give you access to several options. First up is the inventory menu, which allows you to view, equip, and mod both gear and weapons obtained throughout the game and see what is currently stored in your backpack. Loadouts gives you the ability to save 6 equipped builds and switch between them at any point in the game as long as you are not in combat. Character stats. This is where you can view the main overall stats for your currently equipped gear, as well as the major and minor attributes that also apply. This also includes weapon attributes as well. Under pouches, you can find how many grenades, consumables, and ammo reserves you are currently carrying, alongside crafting materials, credits, div tech, and keys for various areas in game. The appearance tab is where you can equip any vanity items you've earned through the game. In the abilities menu, you can select what SHD skills you want to equip. As you can see, Pulse, Heal, and Shield is available currently, but more will unlock as you rebuild the base of operations. Talents are similar to player skills, and 4 of which can be equipped at the same time. Perks are passive talents that help players in numerous ways, for example, gaining an increase in storage space for your stash, amongst other things. All of these can be unlocked through leveling up either the med, tech, or security wings in the base of operations. Here you can view commendations earned by completing actions, for example killing a certain amount of NPCs in the open world. This will award you with vanity patches to show off to other agents. Evidence will be unlocked through campaign progression and can be viewed here. Field data that you collect out in the open world, such as intel or missing agent profiles, can be found here. You can also view data collected through the DLC expansions, such as Underground here. The settings menu gives access to graphics options, key mapping, and controls, pretty much normal stuff here. And finally, the map gives a full overview of Manhattan and what missions are available and the next objective. After the short tutorial, the game will direct you to a safe house in Brooklyn. This is essentially the starting point of the whole game. Safe houses like this are available to players to unlock in various areas across the game's large open world map, and provide you with the opportunity to restock ammo, medkits, hand-in missions, or buy and sell gear at the vendors. You can also store gear here using the stash box, but I'll talk a little bit more about these later on. It's at this point you can enable your first SHD skill, and you have the choice between Pulse, Sticky Bomb, or Ballistic Shield. These are located under the Abilities tab of the Agent menu previously stated. You can assign your chosen skill to either of the bumper triggers on console or Q and E keys on PC. Once you're stocked up and have your skills assigned, you are then tasked with completing a few simple missions. As always, aim for the head or the crit spot in this sort of game and use cover to your advantage. Completing these missions will reward you with some basic gear, and we recommend collecting as much as possible. Even if a loot drop is at a lower level or is very similar to what you already have, pick it up. Bringing as much as possible with you when you leave Brooklyn means you have more to sell once you cross the Hudson River. Keep your eye out for loot crates during these missions also, there are a few of them dotted around. On completion of the Precinct Siege mission, it ends with you boarding a chopper, crossing the river and heading to Manhattan. However, as you will learn with most things in this game, anything that involves a chopper does not tend to end very well. Hudson Pears. This is your starting point to Manhattan. From here you will be able to progress through some of the early open world activities that you will find on the map. Matchmaking is also available in Hudson Pears, giving you the opportunity to team up with other agents currently playing the Division. This option is also available at every main mission as well as large-scale areas of the game, such as the Dark Zone. Hudson Pears also houses gear and weapon vendors. As mentioned earlier, these are members of the JTF, the Joint Task Force, and you're able to buy, sell both weapons and gear. However, we would advise you not to buy anything at this point because the gear progression at the beginning is very fast. Instead, equip whatever gear you already have looted. That will increase the 3 main stats on your character, the firearms, the stamina, and the electronics. Everything else you can either dismantle in the inventory menu or sell at a vendor for in-game credits. Our recommendation here is to sell. Time for a tip. Make sure to keep at least one of your grey base items so you can equip it much later down the road for the Rainbow Commendation. We'll discuss commendations in a later video, but trust me on this one, it's worth keeping. Also located in Hudson Pears is a stash box. This will be the first time one of these has been available to you. This is essentially the Division's version of an armory and is where all your weapons and gear that you are not using can be stored for safekeeping. You can check your inventory and move items into the stash that you want to store to free up room in your backpack for collecting more loot. You will notice the number of tabs within your stash box menu. Items you extracted from the Dark Zone appear here, as do rewards from Survival and the Last Stand DLCs. You can view situation boards throughout Manhattan in each of the various safe houses you will eventually unlock as you progress through the game. Reading these will display all encounters and side missions in the specific district of the map you are currently located in. As you can see here, the base of operations commonly known as the Boo is now highlighted and marked on your map. Setting up the Boo is now your primary objective, and to do so you will be tasked with completing missions and encounters, each of which come with 3 varieties: medical, security, or tech. Completing a medical mission or encounter, for example, will reward you with a sizable amount of XP to level up your character, loot as reward, and medical supplies to aid in unlocking the medical wing of your base of operations. We will discuss the base of operations in greater detail during episode 2 of Agent Origins, but for the time being just remember that everything you complete in game has positive significance for later on. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. Thanks agents, and I'll catch you in the next episode.
You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secure.